today, I went with a team of pastors to see the president. And we had a long speech written. And he's so calm, he doesn't interrupt you until you finish. I said, Mr. President, number one problem of Uganda is corruption. Pastors are the ones saying. Stealing government funds. Poor delivery services. He's listening. I hold my head. I said, man, poor negotiators. We are finished. We came here to negotiate on behalf of our parishioners. And you are dealing with something which you are supposed to be dealing with. So he said, oh, I'm very busy. Let me finish. I'll come back. Let them give you lunch. I've got a foreign delegation. I need to see them, and they go, I'll come back to you. So we went for lunch. I said, guys, you've killed us. Before we even talk about anything, we are finished. This is finished what? We need to talk about these things because that's what the public say. I say, you are in trouble. They say, what? I say, I'm telling you, I am not him. I've not shared notes with him, but he's going to come back, and this is what he's going to say. Give me 5 or 10 corrupt officials that you know that they are corrupt. So prepare them. They all looked at him like this. And that's exactly what he did. And all of us with our titles, Bishop, Archbishop, none of us could point out anybody. And he said, and the people you are talking about, your members in your churches, if you know them, they're the ministers. They come to your churches. They come to your mosques. Why don't you point them out? Why don't you tell them to stop stealing government funds? Then he started lecturing us why he went to the bush. We came out with nothing. Poor negotiator. A thief on the cross. A thief on the cross. What two? The other one started, poor negotiator, blaming Jesus. If you're a son of God, take yourself off. We will believe you. This one looked at it and they said, I'm going to get out of here with nothing. Nails in my hands, pain all over me, and I go to hell. He said, Master, King, if you come in your kingdom, just in case you have a kingdom, I don't know whether you really have one, because you are suffering the way we are suffering. But if you have one, please remember me. You see, child of God, when you are a leader and a poor negotiator, you meet a busy man like President Museveni who has issues to deal with NAM. You know, before we used to have access to him. You could invite him on any function and he could come. But he's a chairman of NAM, Global South, 131 countries. Presidents are calling him every single day. The other day, he called me. Had invited Paula White, and we just come out of Benny Hinn, and I know him, so I wrote him a detail, and the letter had not reached him, so he called me. He said, I'm spying on you. 6 in the morning. President Museveni called me 6 in the morning to tell me about Paula White, she's coming. He said, the other man over there has called me that his pastor is coming here. Are you hosting this lady? I said, yes, sir. He said, do you know that this is a very important person? So we'll help you on security. We'll help you on these other things. So you do other things, we'll handle this. I said, thank you, sir. But what didn't you do? I said, sir, I was writing you a whole detail. He said, oh, okay. Did you tell Mama? I said, not yet. He said, okay, I'll tell her. Listen, he has no time, sir, to solve your problem of a grade 3 clinic in your constituency. You have to be a good negotiator. Mr. President, they are taking our land. Okay, who is taking it? Our uncle. What's his name? Robert Kayanja. Where does he go to church? Blood and fire. Why don't you go to his pastor? And the pastor will tell him, stop stealing people's land. You have to be a good negotiator. People say, how could you pull president out of campaign and you bring him to Miracle Center to open the conference? Because I had Paula White. And so he had to move State House at Miracle Center. Good negotiation. Jesus taught us to be wise. He said, be wise. And he uses an example of a serpent. I don't know why, of all animals, the serpent welcomed the devil. The lion was there, the giraffe was there. But when the devil landed, the serpent said, whoa, you can fly? Me, I'm crawling. Can you help me fly? In other words, good negotiations are done by 3 things. Number 1, you must always have something. Before you ask me to help you, you must have something with you. Don't expect someone to come and give you everything. What do you have? Even Moses, to deliver the children of Israel, God said, what do you have in your hand? Remember we talked about I did the calculation and I cried. It's now 2 years. I'm trying to convince these people of God to have faith in what I saw. I'm not yet succeeded. But with your prayer, you lay hands on me and I'll get the anointing to convince them. Listen. How many of you need money to do business? Okay, all of us. Our problem is money. Huh? How many of you know, ever since Abraham up to now, the money has never gone back to heaven? The money the apostles used is still here. We just want to find out where it is. How many of you know we are the one who have that money? Let me give you an example. We are 7 million as born again. But if you add on the Anglican as well, but locally in Anglican church, charismatic Christians in Catholic church, if you put us all together, evangelical people who believe in Jesus Christ, if you put us together, probably you'll end up with 80% of our population. Right? But let me zero it down on a few numbers so that you may see the math. You know, God is a God of mathematics. He's a God of numbers. God the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. There's a book of numbers in the Bible. So if you don't know numbers, you're not going to understand the Bible. 12 disciples. God is a God of numbers. But watch this. I did the math yesterday and I said we are 7 million born again believers. If you want to find out homesteads of them are locally all over the country. That gives you 1.5 million homesteads. Poor, rich, whatever, middle income, whatever it is, 1.5 million. This Christmas, apart from people here in Ankole, you have cows. So you can decide to kill a cow and share legs in different homes, and that can finish you. But for us in Kampala, we have a crisis of meat. So Christmas is where we eat the meat. I told the people yesterday, I said we have a story of Chintu. Chintu had a cow, and then Chintu, the wife he married, she had a chicken and obulo, which means she was a Westerner. Now, I don't know how things switched, that Ankole ended up with the cows and Baganda ended up with chicken. I don't understand that. But we'll discuss that one later on in the future. But the truth of the matter is, people are going to spend not less than 50,000 on Christmas. And we are Christians. We are Christians. I'm talking about Christians. We know how to fast. Christmas is just a day. Of course, it's a family day where people have a good meal and they talk. But we can have that one when we are rich. If each family could save 50,000 and we put it together times 15,000, that is something like 75 billion. What about Easter? That would be 150 billion. If we do it for 2 years, that is 300 billion. That is close to $100 million. How many factories can we build in 2 years to save our children who are going to be abused overseas looking for jobs? America was built by Puritans, Christians. What is our contribution as Christians in this country? Our biggest contribution is going to be creating capital. Creating capital. Creating capital. We heard that the Muslims are coming with interest-free money. Where did they get that interest-free money? They must be doing exactly the same thing. Brothers and sisters, for us in the country of Uganda to have children who are not going to school, when there is UPE and USE, for us to have children who have nothing to do. I told the president the other day, I said, Mr. President, we have to go back to history. You know, on my farm, I met a lady who lost her husband, and the family kicked her out. But they were herds people. They were herders, Palaro. So she has a boy and 2 girls. And so she said, we are no longer going to school. We've been kicked away where we used to stay. They have taken all the cows. I don't know where to go, but you're a man of God, help me. So I said, you can come to the farm. But the kids let them go to school. And so she started working, and she was, because I had the young people taking care of the cows, then she could graze the sheep. And she did a good job. But one day she was sick. She could not come. So she sent her 7-year-old son to replace her until she recovers. So I come to the farm and I see this little kid, and I said, who is this kid? Get him out. He's going to be injured by animals. And the boy said, no, I know how to do this. And I can also take your heifers. Because they are here, they have been in the paddock, they have not been fed. My mom is coming back next week, but can I also take care of this? I graze that together. I can take the heifer and the sheep. I said, you can? I said, no, this animal is going to hurt you. He said, no, I will manage them. This little kid took about 60 heifers with a sheep, grazed them, brought them back. I said, I know even how to milk cows. I said, huh? I said, okay, you're on holiday now, but you have to be in school. Promise me. He said, yes. I was so amazed. So our animals started getting sick, and the little boy knew the diseases. He knew the disease. He didn't know what medicine to use, but he knew the diseases. I said, who taught you this? So I shared it with Mosey. I said, why do we waste these people's time who already know the diseases of animals? Why don't we create a class for them to just teach them what medicine to use on these animals? Because their lives are there. Of course, now he's at university, he's studying, and he wants to be a vet. And he's actually studying to be a vet. So I said, I'll take care of you, but also let Mama always settle. She cannot handle these young men around the farm. So I've gotten them a little piece of land, give them some cows. I said, keep your kids, raise them, they're going to be great. But in holidays, he come and work at the farm, the young man. Listen, we have people who already know the problem. You're not empowering them. But that's not the work of the president. That's the work of the community. That's the work of the community. So number 1, peace and security. Number 2, leadership. Number 3, negotiation. And number 4, whether you like it or not, whether you like it or not, work. Work. Jesus said, my Father is doing what? He's working. And I'm also working. So if he's working, we're all looking for jobs. There are no more jobs. Even God himself had only one job in the Bible. He has several Josephs. He has several Marys, but only one job. We should stop looking for jobs and create work. That's what China has done. That's what America has done. That's what everybody has done. They are creating work for the people. They are creating work. Government cannot employ all of us, even if they want to. That's why for us to demand them to employ us more, that's why they're taxing us more. We need to create work. And work is all around us. Work is all around us. Because whether you like it or not, Honorable, this is work. This is work. This is work. Not jobs. This is work. Whether we like it or not, the clothes I'm wearing is work. I went to Ethiopia. Ethiopia does not, of course they have more cows, they have 18 million. For us we have about 8.5 million heads of cattle. But they are now the leading producer of leather products in Africa. How can we be the cattle corridor and we don't have a tannery factory here? Lack of capital. What is the capital? You have it. In this room, there is $1 billion shillings, if I can submit to you. If each one of us here was to contribute, we can today raise $1 billion shillings. Today. All of you are loaded with money. I see it on your earrings. I see it on your shirts you are wearing. I see we are investing in the wrong things. We are investing, instead of sitting together in this room and we say this year, let us create a factory How many are we? 200. How much money do they? $2 million. Each one of us bring $1,000. We have 6 months, and we create a factory where our sons and daughters will work. Money is available. One of the things I'm so grateful to the government of Uganda, they have created an atmosphere where foreigners are thriving and we are not. Because we think they favor the foreigners. No, the foreigners have realized there is no country in Africa where you can come and invest and take your money. Uganda has rules and regulations better than Europe, better than anybody else. Uganda is a liberalized economy. I'm telling you, when you come with $1 million in Ethiopia, you cannot take back out any dollar out. They don't allow export of foreign exchange. Kenya is restricted. Rwanda is worse. Congo, they don't even know what to do. Uganda, you can come here, start your business, and do business, and nobody will bother you. Ugandans go to buy things in China with cash in their bags, and they don't take 1,000 shillings. We should be grateful for a government that is foresighted, that is already realizing that the only way you can attract foreign investors is to give them liberalized systems. We are the only country in the region that can succeed. South Africa is restricted. Egypt is restricted. Ethiopia is restricted. Ugandans, we need to take advantage of what we have. Today, one of the ministers come to my church. She is the Minister of State for Minerals. She told us that the minerals Uganda have are incredible, but Ugandans are not taking advantage of it. Okay, let's come back. If you don't want to start a factory, at least raise $2 million, buy equipment, and you go and you become miners of gold, of copper, of tin, of steel. At least participate somewhere. This is a season of wealth creation. God said he'll give you power to create wealth. That's what he said, Deuteronomy 28. He said, remember the Lord your God. It's he who gives thee power to create wealth. We are wealth creator the moment you are a Christian. And God takes it furthermore, and he said, you shall lend nations and never what? So, this morning, you guys are going to give me billions of shillings. There's some things I want to do in Jesus' mighty name. How many of you believe you are rich? How many of you believe you're going to become rich? Poverty is not next door to hell. I tell young people, you young people who always come up and say, well, I don't care about money, I care about love. I said, huh? No money, no honey. Heaven is, roads are overlaid with gold. You see, that's what I told you. We need work. And number 5, we need faith. We need faith. We need faith. Faith in God, faith in each other, faith in country. We need to have faith in our country. We need to have faith in one another. You know, child of God, whether you like it or not, your partner may not be exactly near you or around you. It may be somebody else. It may be someone from somewhere else. One time I heard somebody said, somebody was seated, we were eating, and he said, but Pastor, we don't need anybody. We can do it ourselves. And I looked at him and said, thank you for making this plate and the fork. He said, huh? I said, you say you can do it on your own? Somebody made the plate you are sitting on. I mean, you are eating. The chair somebody else did it. You can't do things on your own. You need partners. And the good thing faith does, it gives you ability to partner with someone. You partner with God. You partner with your fellow man. You partner with anybody who's willing. You know, faith is not just to make you religious freak. No, without faith, you can't please God. And when God is not pleased, there's nothing you can do. God is pleased with us. Emmanuel, God with us. Tell the person next to you, I may not look like God. I may not even smell godly, but God is with me. God is with